Matching hundreds. It's a coach. This is the 2021 season on EA Sports. Coming up, we'll see teams with a couple of running backs who each went over 100 yards a weekend ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Seattle Seahawks taking on the Los Angeles Rams. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. A few short moments ago, running back Todd Gurley trying to fire up the Ram faithful here in Southern California as his guys get set to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4.
And this coaching staff has to be pleased with how their defense played last week. They held their opponents to 3 points, and that was it. If they get anything comparable to that performance, this one's in the bag.
On first down, Wilson. Baldwin with it over the middle. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
This will be fielded at the 17. Now, nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
You enjoyed watching that game tape, didn't you?
Yeah,
Last week's game.
He was good. 4 touchdowns, 1 pick.
Now, you were a little upset about the pick. I didn't know if you would play him this week or not if you were the head coach.
Hey, they got the win.
You got the win, so you're going to give him another chance?
I'm going to give him another shot.
All right, I think the ratio's pretty good. He'll try and eliminate the interception, but he wants to keep that hot streak going, throwing touchdown passes.
Here's the first carry now for Todd Gurley. Oh, now he bowls him over. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The numbers on the ground for Gurley last week. He was creeping up toward 200 yards, thought he was going to get there, didn't quite make it, but also 2 rushing touchdowns.
And even if he only got about half those numbers this week, his team would take it in a heartbeat, wouldn't they? Because last week, he was spectacular.
And a nice little broken tackle run there by Todd Gurley, the 10th pick in the 2015 draft.
And that's what you get with him, that full package of speed, power, able to catch the ball in the backfield. Many people doubted him coming out because of the knee injury in college. They're seeing the full Todd Gurley now, and it hurts.
Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
Incomplete. Woods the intended receiver, and it's second down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. On 2nd and 10, Goff. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where he, their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
They'll run here with John Kelly. Now the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. And give them 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front, because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
From the gun, here's Goff. The quick slant caught. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. As his guys are in for 6. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays, and it winds up with a touchdown for Los Angeles. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They'll run it now out of the gun. That's a nice move by Ajayi. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. Open man, the tight end Rodgers. And he will have the first down, but he winds up paying for it pretty good. It's the first time that they've looked his way tonight, and he comes up with a first down on the play.
Really? Really? Did we just see that? That's a big catch, one-handed, I might add, to pick up a first down.
I was going to say on third down for the defense, it's one thing to give up a reception. You just kind of shake your head on a one-handed catch to pick up the first. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a third down and 4 now. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. And he'll be brought down, but a tip of the cap on the spin move as that gives him a first down. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. There are the numbers last week for Jay Ajayi. 25 carries, 136 yards, and a touchdown.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync.
Now Wilson. It's caught. Block it. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Wilson to lock it there for the Seahawk first down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now a play fake here on first down. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. This one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not sure what you're thinking here, partner, but I believe the officials have done a nice job here getting together and then coming out and indicating that there was a receiver in the area.
Absolutely, and he was in the area. Correct call made, no grounding. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. And we check the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL, is that defense travels and defense endures even in bad weather, right? You know what else does? A good running game. And people want that, especially as you head down the stretch. You may play outdoors in some nasty stuff. You're trying to get to the playoffs. This is the time to get it going. And individually, I don't think you should just think about 1,000 yards either. The bar has to be set higher with this beginning.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurdling through them.
So a little more space to operate now. 1st and 10 from right around the 12. Goff on first down. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Goff. Going for the deep ball. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Now it's Lockett. Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And no room that time, getting it to about the 46. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively.
False start, offense.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been
Still
a little
3rd down.
discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Well, that's a tough, costly penalty, because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start.
Don't take forever, okay? Start!
From the gun, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it. And then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Now he lost 6 there on the first down play.
Three down. Three down.
Here's Goff now on second down. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, it's Gurley. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
We're good. We're good.
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on 2nd down and short. What I like to say.
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
Here's Johnny Hekker now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? The Seahawks on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Here's Wilson. Complete left side, the tight end Rodgers. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, like hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And our attention shifts to Todd Gurley. It may just be the 2nd quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books, but it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, A lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. 2nd and 10. Goff again. And that's caught left side. It's Woods. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Goff now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. Out of the gun, Goff. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down.
4 down, check, 4 down.
They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Goff throwing again. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And a shot taken on third down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher hits a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now it's Ajayi. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Here's Ajayi. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their 2nd, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now here's Michael Dixon. He's been terrific so far. And taken right on the 30. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Rams are going to start this drive in great field position as they take over. Todd Gurley and the offense, they get set and trot back out there now. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. Now a first down throw. Gone. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but it does get away and it's second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A shotgun snap for Gone. Now left, he's got it to Everett. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. And Zerline's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we come upon halftime here in Southern California with the Rams on top. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report. Let's get you caught up on what's going on around the NFL. From there, we're off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a defensive struggle. Which offense can break through in the second half? Find out. Let's hand it over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Gurley looking for a repeat of his 2017 performance. He's off to a good start as the Rams come up 1st and 10.
Hey, check. 3 down.
Gurley again here on 1st down. As he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go.
Here comes carry number 10 for Gurley. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30. Now Gurley staying down. Well, let's hope he's all right. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Kelly on the counter. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big. They'll try the air now with Goff. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free.
He's 2nd in the NFL in interceptions, and you understand why. He plays a game of great intelligence, understands positioning, and has a great ability to break on the football when it's in the air.
So fun to watch his closing speed, and another example of it on that play. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. Hard throw, incomplete. There was the pressure you were talking about, force the incompletion.
And it doesn't always have to end in a sack, does it? Sometimes you can make a good play by forcing the incompletion with the pressure.
And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Wind at his back now in this 3rd quarter. And Zerline's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So that's a 7-play drive that ultimately stalls out there at the end.
And things were a little leaky in the beginning on that drive, weren't they? But how about the front 7? As they got closer to the goal line, things stiffened a little bit and forced the field goal.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the 2nd half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the 2nd?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the 2nd half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use, just something to get you off to a quick start.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Ajayi. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. This is Ajayi. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Keep working, keep working, fellas.
They run with Ajayi. And he'll be taken down, but not. Before he works it past the 50.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. So after the run by Jay Ajayi, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. In on the stop, it was Trayvon Young.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. He can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a man who played collegiately here in the Golden State, Rashad Penny. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's another stop for the defense, something we've seen all game long. They have been on fire today. No matter what's called by the offense, they've had an answer for it.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. And Rodgers has it over on the right side. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Pass complete, but no gain.
No yards.
Yeah.
So you file that as unsuccessful.
Yeah, you do, don't you? Except on the stats, throwing the ball.
Get a completion.
You get a catch.
Yeah.
But still,
no yardage.
Okay.
And Lambeau will put this one through. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So a decent drive there to start the 3rd quarter. They only salvaged 3 out of it, but they inch a bit closer.
Yeah, but still lots of time to go in this one. That's why you hear that clapping on the sidelines, right? Hey, got some points. As you said, inching their way back in. Time time left to go out and get that victory.
And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And Gurley here fumbled it. Gurley fumbles the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Rams out in front here. They've got control of the football as well as we get set for the fourth quarter. The Rams on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Goff. He's going to float this over the middle deep. Unable. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Darius Slay with a pick. Now he goes spin. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. 2-score game here in the fourth, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Samson Ebukam in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. That's their first time getting to the quarterback, sack number 1. And, you know, they had 5 last week, I'm remembering.
And you have to find a way to slow down the pass rush, not necessarily with just protecting your quarterback, but you show them a lot of different looks, and they did that in the first half. You know, different angles, different things to slow down the speed. They got to him here in the second half. Now they've got to come up with a counter to that and maybe do something.
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And the Rams have got it back.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the fourth. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And the Rams getting set to go now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them. He's got to figure all day long.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he'll bring it all the way back, just a yard or two shy of midfield. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
They run a draw here on second down. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
So up through three quarters, no reason to lighten up now. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's got the tight end, Vanette. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
The Seahawks on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 7. Operating from the gun. Wilson being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. And he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off. Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. On second down, here's Benny. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
What a luxury to have a guy like this who can not only spell your starter, but can come in and keep drives going.
And the Seahawks on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This will be 3rd and 6. They'll run it again with Penny. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down. Well, look at the clock. You're down 2 scores. Have to go for this, don't you?
And they thought that as soon as they took over possession. It didn't matter where they were on the field. They were always going to be in 4-down territory. Backed up, in good situation, it didn't matter. So they've been preparing for that on their play sheet the entire time.
And Lambeau will put this one through. And they will cut the lead back down to a touchdown now at 13-6. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get it the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Seattle defense getting set to go. They had the interception last time, led to a field goal.
And kept points off the board against them as well. What a great way to end a drive. Take it away and set your offense up to put points on the board themselves.
The only thing would have been better, a touchdown. Now they'll be looking to get... And he loses the football a second time. But it looked like a Rams player was able to get his hands on it, yes. So they will hold on to the football indeed. Or call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you maintain possession, that's all you're looking for.
Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they take a knee. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. And they will take a knee here. So here we go, Charles, 3rd down. Any chance you're throwing?
I don't think so. I think you got to keep the clock rolling here.
The Rams go victory formation as they take the knee. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Rams, their good start continues as they get their record.